Hey guys, it's me, Corey. I just thought I'd demo this application here that I think for many of you software developers would be very handy to have. Um, at the same time, there, if you're a vibe coder, there's a debate as to whether or not to use this in terms of the scaling a factor. But in terms of the API usage and its ability to be like ChatGPT, but you're using not just ChatGPT, but you're using multiple um, AI services at once within an interface that looks like ChatGPT. Um, this is the place to kind of connect them all, and you can integrate any API or any of the different services like ChatGPT into it. I have in here a few of my local models. I got even DeepSeek in here, and then that's a local model actually. But I've also integrated in here. Actually, to tell you the truth, there, I guess I got a re-update. I just finally finished what I wanted to do here, which was, and I wanted to talk to you guys about, which was integrating websites searching into my own local chat bot and using my own local model, um, one that's not utilizing internet services to read the websites that it searches through a web search feature, and then come up with different answers and so on. Like we got the news or the weather here, so I asked for like find me the temperature of Caledon, Ontario right now, and that is the temperature. If we look here, and I'll just kind of demo uh, weather, Caledon, Ontario. Oops. And here, let's go right here because I just checked it on my phone. There, I know it's sitting at 4, which was pretty accurate. So there it is right there. 11 p.m. It's 10:42 right now, and so the temperature is dropping. Actually, you can tell right now there. So, so it's down to 3 now. So it's dropping by the minute. But yeah, that just gives you an idea like where we're sitting and where it's going and what you can do with this interface here. This is already able to search the web, I think, with the ChatGPT service already built into the API, I think. But this gives you an added feature here where you can get the Open Webui to kind of search through different API services. And I'll just kind of demo some of the, or give you an idea here of some of the web search features that you got. So you got a list here. There's Searxng, I think is the most popular in my opinion because it's private searching and it's basically equivalent to a Google search engine in my opinion. And there's no uh, sharing of your information or data to a marketing agency like Google or anybody else. So if you look online there, you can set that up through a Docker container, and I'm going to show you a little bit um, that I got it set up already, and I've just been plugging away trying to figure out how to get this Searxng to work in Open Webui, which has been pretty challenging considering there's like no videos online on YouTube at all right now that show you how to get Searxng to work. Um, and at least for my particular instance, I could not get it to work, and I got the latest Open Webui version, and I still could not get these search engines working. So, and I'm not even too sure if the other ones are going to work. Actually, they're even if I got the API keys for them, and I got all the API keys for them, and I have tried on a previous attempt here earlier in the day, and I couldn't get any of these other ones to do a search for me. So I was thinking there that maybe there is some updates that need to be done still for the search, but I finally got this working, so I thought I'd demo how to get it working. And so that's what we're going to talk about here. So basically you can kind of see the the URL that I'm putting in here for Searxng. That's the URL. I'm learning here, like I got a 3060 NVIDIA card, and I realized that search result count in the concurrent requests that it'll do. Oh, it's doing better. I had this up to like 20 and this up to 40, I think, at one point, and it wasn't spitting out a response very fast, and it's still not spitting out a very fast response. So I think I need to lower this down to like 5, and then you can have like 3 maybe, and I think that probably would be good. Or you could actually you have to figure that one out actually there. I feel like there's something missing in this calculation because your result count, you want to be up to about 30 or 20. Let's put it up to 20. And then your concurrent requests, in my opinion, there is also, it's like, from my perspective there, that's checking out 3 websites at a time. But it's kind of odd in a way, whatever there, because it could also mean 3 by 20. But you know, that doesn't make sense because the count is 20. So that should be three pages per request, and I don't know how fast they're doing the requests. So there's no timing here to tell you, okay, we're doing 3 websites at a time, once every second, or once every 5 seconds, or once every 30. It's hard to say, but usually Searxng can spit out results pretty fast, and I guess I could throw it up there just to kind of give you an idea of Searxng localhost. Oh, and then we'll do, I think it's 8080, just to give you a heads up. Yep, there he goes. And so this is, it's pretty fast actually there. So if I go weather, Caledon, Ontario, should spit out a response pretty quickly here. And there he goes. So this looks a very nice, clean environment. It looks like something that you'd see in Google. And it's trying to do this without having to invade your privacy. That's the idea here. And so it doesn't generate always the most qualitative results, and you can kind of fine tune this actually there. But the one thing it does is it gives you unique results, unlike Google there, where they sometimes I know like the first 100 results are recycled or something like that over and over again throughout the pagination, which is the bottom of the page there, where they they number out right here. This is pagination. So yeah, they'll recycle the same results after like 100 results. So that's you want to get more unique results the farther you go down the line. So that's the benefit here, I think, is using this, and it uses Google. It uses Google. It uses Brave. It uses all sorts of different search engines involved in here, and you can kind of do some research, look at the preferences. There's your engines right there that it's using, and you can turn them on and off. There's Bing is not used, Google's used, Brave is, so you can see which ones are being used, which ones are not, and so on. So you can kind of choose which engines you're going to use, and they're all, they're not spamming. There's no advertisements, so that's the nice thing. Everything's private, and so this pretty much eliminates Google's marketing capabilities when you use something like this, and it's just as good. So that's where I'm starting to lean towards actually right now, and so that's Searxng. So you got to run that in on your computer. You can run it on in a Docker container. Let me see here. I got to tell you how to set it up. So basically, you get Searxng, I think, set up. Doesn't matter. You can either do Open Webui or Searxng. I'm gonna show you when you set up Searxng. There's a file here. It's called, and I put this in a image because I wanted to blank out the secret key. But basically, this is in my a folder for Searxng, which is right here. And you can see the settings.yml file. Now there's 2 things that you need to update in the file, okay? Or actually a few things actually there. But if you want, I would say, let me double check here. Is that all of the file? Use default settings true. Yeah. So that's the whole file right here. Okay, of what I have in here. So if you guys want, just copy this out, put this into your settings.yml file. Okay. And then this will spit out the JSON. Now that JSON there is very important right here. Okay, that right there is your ability to communicate with Open Webui. If you don't have this in there, I don't think you'll be able to do it unless somebody else knows. But I haven't seen anybody talk about this yet. So, and I'm new to coding. I'm an overnight software developer, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. But right now, there you need to have JSON put in there. Now this file looks completely different when you get it from a Searxng and you clone the repository. And I downloaded it onto my computer first before I put it up into a Docker container. Okay, so that's what you should be doing, is download Searxng and then onto your computer and edit this file first. And make sure there's JSON there. And then also on top of that there's a secret key here that you can generate. You can ask ChatGPT how to generate a hex key for Searxng, a secret key, and it will generate, sometimes in your terminal or your Linux terminal, you'll be able to generate something, or you could just come up with your own number. I think you can put any kind of secret key in here, any kind of password basically, and it'll work. Okay, so that's that. I think note some of these things too. I can't remember if we changed this right here maybe and put it to true instead of false, and also note this too as well. But if you just, oh yeah, we changed the limiter. That's right. So yeah, put that to false. Okay, basically what that is doing is limiting your ability to get search results. So if you put a limiter on it and it says true, it's limiting your search results. So put it to false. Okay, so yeah, basically just copy this out, and word for word it should work, and then that should be all, I believe. There, let me double check. Oh yeah, okay. No, I got to do this other one here too. Can I share this one without? Yeah, I think I can share it here. Okay, so the next one is your Docker Compose file. When you make it, you need to comment out, if you're not using a proxy service, comment out all of this. Okay, proxy is used in Searxng to, kind of prevent your IP, I think, from getting recognized from where you are. But I don't think it has anything to do with getting blocked in this sense. Now over here you have services, and I'm trying to see here if there was two things you had to comment out. You had to comment out cap drop, which means you have to put in something like this, and then right here you had to do it again for all. Just those two lines, okay? When you're doing this, when you first start up when you're doing the Docker Compose up to make the container, you got to comment those two out on the first try, okay? And then after you're done making your Docker container, shut it down, uncomment these out, and then you should be good. And then then rerun your Docker container afterwards. Okay, and what else did I notice here? Is there anything else that I noticed here? I think everything else was good, but like I said there, just take a quick look, and if you are uncertain, and if you need this copy to you, you can always message me on in the comments of the video, and I will try my best there to help you out here. I'll copy this out for you if you need this. You don't want to, but basically you could probably use ChatGPT, take screenshots, take another screenshot, and then take another screenshot, and then you can get it to extract all the text out, and then just copy and paste from there into your file. That's how I would do it if I'm on a video. Make it quick and simple without having to ask me. Okay, so the next thing. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Okay, so you got those two files are the big factor on how to get your responses from Searxng. Now, I think, just bear with me here. I'm just gonna put this over here for a second. Okay, there's two things that you can do to test your Searxng. Okay, and test, make sure it's working. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna do this. You're gonna, after you've done that, inserted your container into Docker, or you made your container into Docker there. Just 1 second here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna test it after you run your container in Docker desktop here. So let's see here. We got Docker here. Okay, so make sure this is running in Docker desktop, or Searxng is running, whether you're in Linux or whatever else. And then you gotta do a command that curls Searxng. Now Searxng is running at this port 8080, so you can type in localhost 8080 in there just like that, and then it's gonna shoot out a response. If it responds properly, it'll look like this. I'll give you a status code 200, and so you know, okay, this is working. Okay, and the next thing that you got to do though is test it for Open Webui. So the way you're going to do that, okay, so before I even go to Open Webui, so that way you know, okay, so now you know that Searxng is spitting out a response in JSON format. Okay, and that is your helper. That way you know that you're going to get a result sent to Open Webui. This is the step here to tell you, hey, you're going to get a result from Searxng. It's sending out the message. Next step is to get Open Webui to receive that message. Okay, so you got to set up Open Webui now. So the way you're going to set up Open Webui, just bear with me here for a second. Okay. Yeah. All right, so this is how you're going to set it up. Okay, so you're going to go to your Docker compose file of Open Webui. Okay, this is my Docker compose file right here. Okay, now I don't know for sure about all of the search engines, but you can see Searxng is there. Okay, and we got this line for format JSON, and then we got the web search here. So all of these things need to be put in there, and if you're already running Llama, depending on how you're running it or whatever, that might be different. If it's in a container, it might look different than that. But there's one major thing that I noticed here. I think I got the model to point out to me, was that it was putting all of these in quotations. Okay, like apostrophe on both sides, not the double quotes or whatever you call those. And so yeah, that wasn't working, and caused me a lot of problems, and took a long time to figure out why it wouldn't send to Open Webui. So I figured out that if you have apostrophes on both sides of these, one here, you're never going to get it to work. At least I couldn't get it to work. So I got rid of them, and then, sure enough, we got it. So after you do that, then you got to so yeah, that's pretty much it. So you update this Docker file, Docker compose file, and that's pretty much it there. Then you gotta do this command here, which is, I'm gonna show you in a just bear with me here for a second. Notepad. Okay, and then you got to do this command here, Docker compose, on Open Webui. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to, so I'll give you an idea here. So you got to go to this, so you're in terminal, and you know, you're basically, you go to your Open Webui folder. Okay, so what I had to do here, okay, so this is the reason why I just a note here. So if you clone the repository, you have to find a way to change, you know, your YAML, Docker compose YAML file. Okay, the way I did it was by downloading it into my hard drive, and then accessing the file on my hard drive before it was uploaded as a container. Then I edited it on my hard drive, and then once I was done editing this file here, then you just upload it, or then you gotta compose it, I mean. So you gotta do this command right here, which will make the container. Then once you make the container, then you need to test. So the way I tested, okay, so there's one thing you gotta do is you're gonna do this. You're gonna get this command right here. So this is the next command you're gonna insert. And then after you're gonna do that command, it should spit out something like this. Okay, and then after that, you want to do, if it spits out that, then you're gonna want to do this command right here. This is another test. Okay, so this command is executing through Open Webui a curl request to Searxng, which is their port right there, right? And it's basically just doing a quick test. And so what should come out is something like this, and it's going to be really long, so I'm just going to do a short piece of it, but it should spit out like 100 lines or 200 lines of stuff. No, it might be more than that actually. There, it might be. It'll look crazy though, at least. I'll just tell you that. If it spits out something like this, you know, and this goes for like several pages, like that, then you know you got the right thing. And yeah, so that should be that. And then if that spits out, that should be your telltale sign that Open Webui is going to work. So let's go back here into Open Webui, and okay, so you got your search here. This is the URL that you will need to put into Open Webui. And then you got your choices here of your numbers. So I would probably keep these low for now, just as a first time. And then, you know, you save your response down here. Make sure your web engine search is on, just like my settings are. That's the only one I think I have here. So there's no Google, no Brave. Although I put these in before, but I re-updated my program, and none of them saved. Well, oddly enough, though, Searxng saved even on my update, which is kind of odd in a way or whatever there. I don't know why, but I think the reason why is because I put it in the YAML file, maybe. Nothing there in Tably, Virginia, Bing. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea that I haven't put anything else anywhere else. This is interesting there that there's something there, but the API is supposed to go right here, I think. So, yeah, I don't know, actually, to tell you the truth there, if that one is working or not there. Let me go back here for a second. I'm always curious. Oh, there's nothing there. So there's a Jimnya API. I know I put that in before. And Tably, I've done that too as well. So, and Brave has nothing, so there's nothing there. Yeah, and so let's see here. We're going to test it out again. You know what? Actually, to tell you the truth, I don't need a lot of results right now, but I really would appreciate a lot of results for certain searches. So let's go here. I want to reduce this because of time. So let's just say 3 results, and then we'll see what is the temperature right now here? See if the temperature's dropped. So it's 2 degrees. So what is the temperature in Caledon, Ontario right now? It is it says 11:05 for my time. I don't know why, but I think that the time zone, according to the model there, thinks it's 1 hour east of here. 1 hour time zone over right now. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so that happened because I didn't click this. So let's try that again. Make sure you click web search before you try. All right, so it's going to take some time here. So you know what? Why don't we do a recap of what we did here, okay? So a recap would be, and this is just quickly, so that way you can go through it yourselves here. Searxng. Okay, so a quick recap was we commented out this at the top here, the caddy stuff, because that's related to your proxy. You don't really need it right now, I don't think. Then we commented out. That might be this one actually. We commented out, but just keep note there. There's some stuff you can look online to see whether or not it's the cap all here. But I think it's actually the cap all under your Searxng. If I'm right here, one second here. There's cap all right there. The services. I think this is it right here. But there's cap drop and cap all here. So you have to double check the documentation to see where it is. And then we added the JSON. Did we do it here? Oh no, and what else did we add here? I think that's it. Okay, and then here, you'll notice that we got those things there to review it in the settings.yml file. We gotta update the secret key. Just check that that's true. Check that limiter is false. Make sure image proxy true is in there. If not, like, add it. And then also add this too as well. There are the formats, HTML and JSON. Okay, so that's it for that. So that's basically it. And then let's go back to Open Webui. Oh, it got up to 40 sites. So it did find sites. Now the problem is that I think it's getting too much. So let's reduce the amount of concurrent. So this will be the last thing I want to do here is go to settings, and then let's reduce this down to like 3 results here. I thought I had done that already, and then 3 there. Okay, so let's go back here, web search, temperature. Temperature is more specific. Temperature in Caledon, Ontario right now. Oh, you know what? I should write, what is the temperature in Caledon, Ontario right now? Okay, did this work quickly? So that's all I'm playing with right now, is obviously trying to figure out where's the happy medium for how many results you want to get from the internet at once for my type of GPU. Oh, it didn't get the results there. But you know what's weird is that I betcha. Yeah, see, there's the date right there. So it is getting them. So it's got the correct. So this is the next question is based on historical data. Okay, let's see here. If we could try this again, we got 6 sites. Okay, so let's do this here just to play with it here while we're talking. Okay, I'm going to reduce this down to that, and I'm going to do 1 concurrent request, and then I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to do temperature in, oh, okay, I keep under that one. What is the current temperature in Caledon, Ontario? Please read through your results for temperature. Let's see what happens here, just to see if it. Oh, what's going on now? Well, isn't that funny, eh? You know, you think you got it all figured out, and then you don't. Let's try. So obviously, though, the one thing that's not working there, and I got to go back here, is that there may be another issue here. So here's what I'm going to do here. So I gave you guys a little bit of a heads up on testing my results. So there's another curl that you can do here. So you can curl, I think, here, let's see here. Okay. Oh. Let's see what it says here. Ooh. So that might be the reason why I couldn't get results right now. Unable to connect to a remote server. So something has happened here. Let's see here. We're working here. Searxng is working. Okay, so let's test it here. Do another search result. Are you working, Searxng? Okay, if that's the case, then let's refresh the page. Okay, that looked like it changed actually there, but let's do something different here. Let's do Canada hockey. Let's see here. Official website of Canada. Okay, so we're still working. So that's good news. Okay. Give me the score of the last game the Toronto Maple Leafs played. Let's see if it works. So it looks like it's working again there. So I think that there may be some delays or some latency in the Docker container in Searxng, or there could be something else here. There's a mention that Matthew, okay, I don't know if scored in overtime. The second hat trick, and the Toronto Maple Leafs beat the Lightning 4-3, April 10th. So that's not bad, eh? So let's see here. We got the Maple Leaf standings. So their rank is number one in their Atlantic division. It doesn't tell me what their last game was there. Okay, well, let's see if I click it, because I've never been to this site at all there. Okay, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go back to Searxng, and I'm going to say Toronto Maple Leafs, April 10, game Thunder Bay. Or not Thunder Bay, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Let's see. Oh yeah, there he goes. So that was accurate. So it gave a score of 4-3 against the Lightnings. It looks like the answer right here tells you. Yeah, Matthew, nice. Okay. All right, so there you go. So that, I think, is a Docker issue or whatever there. That there might be a delay if you're requesting too much to Searxng. It may have a little bit of a delay for you. So those are the results there. But you know, you got something to work with so far there. And I know with this model context protocol coming out, they may just skip this whole ability of web search based on this, and they might just say, hey, you know what? The connection might be working better through MCP. But, you know, I have yet to do that, and I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. And then maybe I'll do another video, and I'll display the results there. Now, there's, you know, you can always go back and check out any of this stuff through your, so we can come back here, and I probably can come curl this now, and you watch. Let's see here. Oh, it's not curling, but 1 second here. You know what? Let's try doing this through here. So I did do so that's taking a little longer there. I'm not too sure if it's going to work or not, to tell you the truth there. Oh, it's still there. So, 1 second here. Let's try it now. See if that worked. Still not working. Okay, I did do something here. Searxng. So I think this is the other. Okay, so this is the test here. You got to do it through your Linux environment, like Ubuntu. So I'm using Ubuntu here, and this is on Windows, just to give you a heads up there. So let's I can test, and I almost forgot to mention this too, that you can test your to see if your Open Webui is working as well through Searxng, and it actually spits out a response there. It tells you, hey, like, you know, you queried it and it came through, worked. So that's how that you'll know there that Open Webui was working. And so it's a little confusing because I'm going back and forth. I apologize. Half the time I just, you know, I'm just trying to go as fast as I can without thinking, and never sure what's going to show up and work. But there you go. So there you can see that it is actually spitting out a response. But the ultimate one that I strongly recommend is, and this is how I'm gonna show you right here how the response looked. There's the response right there. So if it spits out stuff like this, you know, from this particular command right here, then you know that worked. And so yeah, there's a few commands here I've tested and spent hours trying to figure this all out, trying to get it to work. And this is how I got it working so far. So I won't keep you any longer. We're at the 40-minute mark of the video, and I know it's probably a little long for a video, but I thought I'd just do you guys a favor as much as I could in being thorough and sort of debug as I go as well there. so that way you guys can kind of see how I go about it. All right, well, like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you guys, if you guys have any questions or comments or have any ideas that you want for me to create something there, just let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Talk to you later.